Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. How about
Nice.
you?
I'm chilling. I'm having a nice day. It's been a heat wave around here. It's finally getting like super slightly cooler, so
Yeah.
it's nice. Okay, so maybe you can do a quick intro. Just your tag, where you're from, how long you've been playing, and goals for Melee, and then we'll hop right in.
Okay, so I'm Yetis Exist. That's my tag. I'm from the Philippines, but I'm currently in California. Um, I main Fox, and is the next part the goals? I don't remember.
How long you been playing?
Oh, I've been playing since the end of 2017, so almost 5 years.
Okay. And then like, what are your goals for the game? What are you trying to accomplish?
My goals, I just want to get as good as I can get.
Okay.
Hopefully that's pretty good, right? But if not, then whatever, you
All
know.
right. Yeah. So you're kind of chilling, but you want to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sounds good. So what are we going to be going over today? What's the issue?
Um, Marth Fox. I think this is actually like one of my best matchups.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I was still in the Philippines, a couple of weeks ago, I um I couldn't beat like some Marths. There's like a Marth in India called Balu, and there's also Ingen in Japan. Like I can't beat them. They're just like a little bit, they're just like the next tier above me, in terms of
Mm-hmm.
like. Oh, that I think the first that's a best of five. Best of five. So the first game is not, not the F1.
Oh, I got the wrong game here. Wait. So which one is the?
The
Maybe
first one is
this.
Battlefield, then Dreamland, Final Destination, then Fountain.
Okay. Let me see. So the second one. I think this is. This looks like the first one, like the number, maybe. No idea. Nope. This is
That's the last
Fountain.
one.
Okay.
You don't have the stages on the thing.
The what?
You don't have the stages on the Zippy launcher. It doesn't say.
Well, no. Like I'm looking at them in Discord, right?
Oh right, okay. I can just tell you the last numbers. Oh, okay, you got it.
No. Okay. I found Battlefield. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. All right. So what do you feel like has been happening to you?
Um, I am not that. I feel like my punish on Marth isn't that bad. I have interesting edge guard styles as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do go for the cheesy shine if I read their side B. Um, but against better marts, they don't. It's kind of hard to do that. They're very aware of when I'm
Mm-hmm.
going for it, and also there's also like sharking. Kind of hard to shark mart sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know they're gonna like side B when I'm sharking them, but then like I don't know, like they either like drift to ledge and then throw a fair, which is kind of hard to like go around. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, I get you. Okay. All right.
Hmm.
You know what? Let's just hop in and see what we see. Let me know if you have any thoughts as we're going through this. I'll
There's
just.
one more thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Perfect. Go for it.
Like, I'm not really sure how to deal with Martin there, other than like up smashing it, and I don't feel like committing up smash all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like AC Nair, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of cases where you can't punish it. Um. Like, there's a lot of spots where I don't know. There's a lot of spots where you get the equivalent as Fox, where maybe you like short hop, fade back, drill, and dash back. Like a lot of times that's not going to get punished. Um,
Right.
that's kind of his equivalent with like the nair. It's like his ability to like wall. If he does an approaching nair, you can like punish it in a lot of different ways. Shield grab, CC shine, CC down tilt, CC grab. Yeah, probably CC grab is better than CC down tilt, but there's like a lot of different ways that you can punish it if he approaches with it. Um, I doubt that's like the problem for you. It's usually like the in place or like fade back
AC.
nairs that give people the
Yeah.
trouble. And so have you watched any of my other Fox Marth lessons at all?
Yeah. Like a couple of months ago, I saw you talking about like tethering, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot what it meant exactly. But it's like
Okay.
kind of being close but not too close or something. Behind
Okay,
that, I'm
no,
not
no.
really
So it's
sure.
basically the idea of tethering is that like you are when you're either far away from Marth, and that's fine, or you're like right on top of Marth, and that's fine. But you don't really want to be like you don't want to play at like this middle range for a long time. Like about let me see if I can pull it up. Maybe like right here, if there's this range, like let's say he does this nair and you laser and then you dash dance here, and he does this nair and you dash dance here, you know, kind of at like this middle range where you feel like you can dash back to avoid most of his moves, maybe not dash attack. Um, but then you're also not super like close enough to like do anything to him.
Yeah.
Basically, the purpose of the whole like tether theory thing is that whenever you get into mid range like this, you need to either go back to long range and be super safe, or most of the time you're trying to use this mid range to get in close. The issue a lot of foxes have is they get into this mid range and they're like, oh, I'm kind of playing neutral, like neither of us can really hit each other, and then they just like approach in from this range and they'll just get dash dance grabbed or whatever. And so it's like you don't ever want to try to hit Marth from this sort of safe-ish mid-range. What you want to do is get in as close to Marth as possible. Like I would say like maybe like a little bit further than that. Like you want to get like maybe like around here. Is like a kind of like what I would consider like see how you kind of like came in from outside this range with an attack? Like you
Yeah.
came from out here with an attack, and it worked here, but it's not very good because like the idea is like if you come from too far away with this attack, he can just dash back and avoid it.
Mm.
But once you're close enough to Marth, even if he dashes away, like Fox is fast enough to catch him, and so you basically want to be at the range where Fox can catch Marth retreating, and as soon as you're in that range, just do mix-ups. And the idea is like if Marth dashes away, you just chase him and you just kind of do whatever mix-ups you want, and Fox super hard wins the situation in that range. So that's the idea of like the tether is like you just try to get as close as you can, and then they try to run away, and you kind of like nope, 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 we're staying close, we're staying close. But then like let's say something happens where you dash left and they dash right, and that's the idea of that is like oh the tether has now been broken. Like I'm no longer attached right next to the Marth. And so you have to use the mid-range again to get in close before you attack. That is like the
Okay.
basic theory of it. And we can go into it, like different examples of that while we're watching this. So, okay, let's see. These lasers are okay, they're fine. The up smash is obviously really a really heavy gamble, and it's not going to have a big risk here, or a big reward here. So I'm not a huge fan of this. I know you said like you're kind of like reading the nair, right?
Yeah.
You can actually crouch under nair a lot of times at close range. Like crouch is just overall kind of busted against nair. If you get right underneath him and you crouch, nair like literally can't even hit you. Um,
Hmm.
and a lot of times you'll get more of like a shine into a grab or something than this up smash. I like don't recommend killing nair, or sorry, I don't recommend up smashing the nair unless your up smash will kill for sure. And a lot of times I would only do it if I was at a little higher percent as Fox. Like if I'm at a percent like 120 and Marth is at 85 and he nairs, like yeah, I'm gonna go in for that up smash, you know.
Okay. Is that because you can't get punished so hard?
Yeah, it's because like if you hit, you kill him, and if you miss, it's kind of hard for him to kill you. Whereas like if you're at 0 and he's at 80 or 85, 89, whatever, and you go for the up smash, if you miss the up smash, he might zero death you, so you'll lose like a lot more than you would if you were at like if you're
Right.
4 stocks 130 and he's 3 stocks 85, you're like I could get a huge lead by hitting this, you know.
Right, I see.
Hmm.
Oops. I should have just up aired that.
Hmm. A lot of stuff that's happening is not making a ton of sense to me, so I'm just gonna keep watching.
Yeah. I don't think I use my brain too much.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that vibe a little bit that like you're sort of just like kind of coming up with stuff and then trying it, and Fox is good enough that that a lot of times can kind of work. Okay, let's
Right.
see. There's the punish. Yeah, like, hmm. Okay. Trying to figure out the easiest way to like work with this and figure out like what the next steps would be for you. Okay, so definitely dealing with Nair is one. Like, you don't want to go high to deal with Nair. You want to stay on the ground. Oh, and what I was gonna mention, I went into the whole tether explanation without getting to this. So when he does the Nair, a lot of times instead of punishing the Nair, you can just use the Nair to get into the tether range. So like you're like, well, I can't really punish it, but I can just space right outside of it, and then as soon as he lands out of the Nair, I have this really good aggro mix-up. That's what
Okay.
Cody does, and it works so well.
All
It's
right.
basically like you don't get to nair for free because when you nair and you're walling me, I just get right outside the range of the nair, and as soon as it ends, I'm either going straight in or I'm doing some form of like timing mix up, you know? And that's when like kind of the stuff you're doing where you're just sort of like, not, it's like you're not doing random stuff, but you're like, you're just sort of coming up with stuff on the fly, um, rather than like playing super directly to a game plan. And
Yeah.
that sort of on the fly play is really good once you've gotten close to Marth. So it's kind of like the matchup is very careful and systematic until you're sort of right next to Marth, and then you can play the kind of like you'll never guess what color I'm thinking of game where you're just kind of like trying to figure like just kind of trying to be like unpredictable and like sort of tricky and fast. Like that's really useful up close, but like this, like you're just like the only advice that someone can give you when they see you doing this like down air is like, oh, this is bad, like Marth can just react and kill you for this, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like it doesn't lead to anything. Like you're not gonna get this. It takes so long to drop from the top platform here, and it's like a miracle that you even hit him anyway. So I think like my general impression so far is that it's not really that you're not doing good stuff, although obviously there's a lot of stuff you could be doing better. Uh,
Right.
it seems more like you're not committed enough to not doing bad stuff. Like you're kind of like, well, as long as it's sort of tricky and fast, then like they probably won't expect this option, and so therefore like it kind of has a higher chance of working. And that is true. Like to some extent that is a successful strategy, but it's
Hmm.
not as successful as it could be if you used more like restraint. So like you're going to get some results off of this, but you're also going to like run into a wall because you're not being like strategic enough for like, okay, I'm on the top plat and Martha's here. Obviously, it's really nice and easy to just be like, I don't know, down air, like let's go down air, come on, hit, you know. But like
Yeah.
it's a lot better to be like, okay, so what do I want to do against Marth? It's like, oh, he's at 0. I would really like to hit like a grab. You know, a grab would be great, or an up tilt or something like that. And so you're like, okay, you can't really get any of those things from up here, like right here. So from right here, he's at 0. You're not going to get the big combo starters that you're looking for, right? Like the up tilt or the up air or the grab. Like none of those things are really gonna come out of this position ever. And if Marth, let's say, shield grabs or dash dance grabs or up airs this or whatever, he could definitely just kill me. Because those are the moves that he wants. Like, I want grab and drill and up tilt, and he wants dash dance grab and, like, shield grab. And so it's like, I'm not going to get the things that I want out of this situation, pretty much ever. But he has a real possibility of getting the things that he wants out of this, like the grab, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, from this position, your goal should be, I want to get down to the ground safely, and then move from middle range to close range, and then scrap with Marth to get my opening. That is sort of like, or, you know, come down to the ground, be a little bit further away, land a couple lasers, maybe retreat to the platform. Like, you can always play the safe game, you know? But I'm just saying, like, what do you kind of want? Like, aggro-wise, like, what are you looking for? It's like, you know what you want, and you're not going to get it from here. So you need to change the position until you're in a spot where you're like, I can now look for the things that I actually want, rather than just, like, attacking because the position was given to me. And yeah, similar thing right here. So you get this combo, which is good, and then the combo ends. So the combo is no longer going. There's no advantage state here. If you try to run on top of Marth, he's just going to fall through an up air and you'll die. So from this position, you're like, okay, I got a decent combo. That's great. Run off, back to the ground. Like, we don't want to be on the platforms above Marth. That's what Marth wants. If you're the Marth player, you're like, I really like when Fox is above me and then comes down with aerials from the platforms. You know, that's like your favorite thing. So being like, well, I just landed a combo, I want it to keep going, and kind of jumping onto Marth here, you see how he just runs off and up airs. You know, like, because he knows how to play the situation. So you end up in this really dangerous spot, and you end up going for this super committal, like, back air thing, and you end up in a spot where you probably should have died. Okay, so this part is fine. Like, these lasers, I actually like these lasers quite a bit because it's a super long range. Then you go to the mid range, but the problem is like when you go to the mid range, you are immediately attacking, and you kind of won because he just ran in and grabbed for some reason. It looks like, which is mad stupid from him. Like what you should basically be doing here is like you could do this and then do like dash in here to like here and then dash back. And what will happen is if Marth dashes in and grabs, you'll just bait him and get a punish. And if you dash in and dash back here and he dashes in and dashes back, which is more normal, then you're at the mid-range and you just wait a second, look for your opportunity, maybe go to the platform, reset things, and eventually you're going to like just kind of run in on him, get close, then attack. This is like the #1 thing that I have to tell everybody is like, this is not the range that you can attack Marth from. You can't. You need to be here to attack Marth. Like, do not throw out attack options unless it's like a whiff punish, unless you're like right next to him. Super important, because he could have very easily played the standard mix-up here for Marth, which is to dash back. Like almost no Marth players that I know would have gotten hit by this dash tech.
Right.
Okay.
That's just a random read.
Yeah, fine.
I think I could have re-grabbed that, right? Before he grabbed it. If I just double jumped. Kinda risky though.
It was honestly a pretty good recovery from the Marth. Okay, so the main issue here is your ledge grab timing. So remember, the reason why you're grabbing the edge is, first of all, you want to prevent Marth from grabbing the edge. Second of all, you want to have invincibility while interacting with Marth off stage. And so, like, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, what I wanted to say. But, like, what I'm trying to say is that, like, when Marth is off stage, there's no reason to be grabbing the edge right now. Like, you're not getting anything out of it, you know. You're not really losing anything, but you're not really gaining anything. And so you want to be looking at Marth and you're like, okay, when is Marth gonna grab the edge? Because Marth, Marth doesn't want to use his up B. He wants double jump to edge.
Yeah.
And a lot of times his only response, if he's going to go to double jump edge and you do this, is maybe he's going to try to like double jump aerial you, which honestly is not even a big deal because it'll just send you back on stage. So you don't really need to worry too hard about like the double jump aerial stuff. Sometimes I'll bait it out and stuff, and sometimes you'll get unlucky and it'll somehow hit you below the stage, but that shouldn't happen too often. But you're basically wanting to wait. See how early this is, like, you're going to ledge before he's ever in range. Like, he's not going to double jump to edge here, so you're not protecting the edge. And he's not in range for you to, like, threaten him here. And the timing is super important. Like, there's no just go to ledge. The timing of going to ledge is what decides edge guards against Marth. Because let's say, instead of doing this refresh right here, you grabbed edge right here. So let's say you grabbed edge right now in this exact spot, a little bit earlier than the refresh. He might not have been so down to like drift in here. Like if you grabbed it, like let's say you grab it like here, you might even be able to like drop double jump back air this. And it's like, I'm not telling you to go for that every time. It's still pretty good against this. But, like, the threat is there, and it'll a lot of times change his recovery. Like, you're just providing some sort of threat for his recovery. Whereas right here, it's very clear that you're more focused on, like, your refresh and just being like, I'm on ledge, and not about, like, using the ledge to actively, like, edge guard Marth. And so you get this spot, and then, yeah, and now he's waiting super low, and he gets the double jump, and he gets the double jump back, which is, you know, not bad here. And then he gets this. So it was a pretty solid recovery from him, but it's more that you don't want to let him just drift to right below the stage while holding his double jump. Like, you need to just be a little bit more threatening with your ledge grab timings and stuff like that, and I think it would help a lot. At least on that edge guard. We'll look at.
It should be later, right?
Huh?
It should be a bit later, right? Oh no, earlier. Sorry. Wait, earlier or later?
No, it's a little bit later. Like, you want to do it like basically think about if you were going to like if you were going to do wave dash off and then fast fall past the ledge and then do double jump back air to hit Marth.
Right.
You want to like threaten that, but invincibly with the ledge grab. So you kind of want to grab ledge as late as you can without getting hit by Marth.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was no way to really cover that. Something small, but let me see. Right here, spot dodging is not as good as you might think here. A lot of times it's better to just do something like shine, short hop, drill, just because you might get a chance. Like, if he whiffs, the only time you're going to get a punish on this grab is if he, like, dash grabs you. Like, if he standing grabs here and it literally misses you, you probably still won't get a shine. It's unfortunate. Something small. Not really tying into the other stuff I was saying, but... Okay. I respect a lot that this Marth actually grabs edge for the edge guard. It's nice. Okay, see, notice how both of these are approaches from the mid-range, and how bad that is. Approach from the mid-range, bam, get hit. That is what this is for. That's what this nair is for. It's to beat approaches from the mid-range. So, like, right here, he's doing this nair. If you just wait it out for a second, and then right after this nair, let's see where this nair hits. This nair hits about right here. Let's say you're right here and you just barely dodge this nair instead, and then he's landing and you're just like coming right in on him. Like, he's not going to survive that. Same with the dash attack. Too far away. You want to make sure to get close before you attack. Okay, right here. Okay, so do you know about the short hop off here?
Yeah, I do. I do it sometimes, but I think I just didn't remember that he had double jump there.
Okay, that's
Because
fine.
I do thread in that or the back air sometimes.
Okay,
Yeah.
as long as you know it, that's fine. Okay, high percent's a little rough here. Nice.
Yeah, he read me. I did that already a lot of times.
See how you try
That's
to
just
like press this again, where like the combo is over and you miss it, and you have to just be like, okay, it's over, and just go back down to the ground. Maybe you can like run off nair pressure here or drill pressure, like maybe. But if you're gonna jump down like this, like you would never want to like. They're like, for $1 million, which character would you want to be here? And it's not
right.
Fox, you know.
Right. Yeah, shield drop up air is something I do not think about.
Mm.
I probably should think about that more.
Yeah, shield drop up air. Honestly, just drop through up air. Like they're both so strong. Okay. Um. Oh, I get it.
Do you want the last two digits of the
Want the
next
what?
game? The next game is a Dreamland game, but it doesn't really matter which one
Oh, it's
I
the
get.
Dreamland game.
It ends in 57. If
Okay,
see
thank
that
you.
one instead.
I see it. Okay.
Ooh, I meant to laser, I think.
Okay, so this was good. This is why Marth can't like approach you. I like this drill. Um, this laser makes no sense though. You're like at the mid range. You're like honestly, you're even like kind of like you could make an argument that you're tethered here and that you should just do a mix up into attack, like dash dance full hop over him or dash dance run in, run past him. But going for this laser is like you're like in danger and you're doing the laser. This nair is really kind of tough. It looks like you probably... Yeah, this is from too far away. See how this is still, like... You're not able to catch Marth's dash back with this. Like, if
Right.
Marth dashed back right here, or even drifts back here, you will get hit. You just kind of got lucky that you went in between his nair hits. I like the
I have
nair
a
up tilt,
question
though.
though.
What's up?
I have a question though.
Yeah.
Just because Mark's dashback is really good, should I just be expecting him to do it all the time? Like, because this Marth isn't doing dashback a lot, is he?
It's...
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
should I be? Yeah.
Well, like, we're not trying to get better against this Marth. We're trying to get better against Marth. Because if you just try to... Because if you just try to get... Like, if you're just trying to beat this particular Marth, like, and they're not using Marth's strongest moves, you're gonna, like, just learn the matchup wrong. But if you learn the matchup right, you will still beat Marths who don't dash back.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, because it's like you're not hard reading the dash back. It's you're accounting for the dash back. So like, and the other thing is it's more like I talk about the range where you want to be able to catch Marth's dash back, but it's not just that it covers dash back. Fox just kind of beats up Marth at close range in general, and Marth's general, like, I feel like this Marth would definitely be dashing back a lot more if you tethered more. Like, you put more effort into getting pretty close to Marth and sort of like getting like a setup for like your aggression. I think like the way that Marth wants to escape that is by dashing back. And so like it's kind of important to be able to catch the dash back. Because you're like, okay, because if all the Marth is gonna do, if they're not gonna dash back and they're just going to approach into you, they're like doing your job for you. Because, like, remember, your job is like, okay, long range, enter the mid range, use the mid range, like play neutral in the mid range for a second, and use that to get to the close range to then threaten Marth. But if you go into the mid range and then Marth just comes right at you, then like you don't even have to do step 2. Like, close the gap is like step 2, and like Marth just closed the gap for you. So him approaching you and throwing out moves and whatever is just strictly worse for him than him trying to like maintain that like mid-distance spacing where your moves don't like hit his dash back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Can't believe that hit.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, move never misses. Okay, some text skill errors. Gonna just ignore that. Probably want to like get up from ledge, right? Wave shine. Oh. Like get up from ledge, wave shine, or like double jump, single hit drill, wave shine, or honestly even just like double jump back air here would be better than this up air. Like the up air is not gonna kill.
I mean, because sometimes I feel like getting the shark would lead to a kill, but then I don't know.
No, you know because so Marth has this anti-sharking position, which is literally right here actually. Where what they do is they drift right above the ledge. And they'll do this every time against pretty much every character. And what it does is it allows them to do a thing where, like, if you commit to ledge or you commit to, like, covering the off-stage option, they just drift in and then you're now cornered. Like, they kind of get this corner reversal. And then if you try to be... And they'll do the same thing if you try to be directly underneath them, where they can either go past you onto the stage or drift back and fair, and then, like, they're kind of on their way down to, like, the ledge this whole time. And this is, like, their strongest position out of the shark, and they're going to want to do this pretty much every time. And the nice advantage of if you back aired there is, like, Marth can't get to this position. He's, like, over here. And so he has to, like, fall diagonally here towards the ledge, and that is like a way better like advantage state for you than right here. See how he's just like drifting to the edge, and it's like, well, what are you gonna do? You can't like dive out stage and like overcommit to hit him, you know. And if you don't, then he's just gonna grab the edge, which he does. Like, look how far away he can grab edge here, you know. So like he just does this. He's just gonna drift back, and look at like you were never gonna be able to hit Marth during this, you know. Like he just grabs edge. So it's much better to hit him off stage there. Or get the kill. The kill is definitely the best thing. Okay.
Oh, he did that platform cancel thing.
Hmm?
He did the platform... I don't know what it's called, like when he... does an aerial and he immediately becomes actionable on the platform.
Oh, yeah. Like no impact land or whatever.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he mixed me up.
Yeah, here's kind of an example of what happens when you do tether Marth. Like, see how you're right on top of him? And then you start attacking? And he actually, like, wins twice. Like, he gets 2 wins right here, and he gave you 12%. Whereas if you had won any of those, you would have just like, you know, drill, wave, shine, whatever, just kind of beat him up. So like close range, Marth just gets a lot weaker. Oh
my god.
SD. Okay.
Oh, he let me come back.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Always watch out for that. They love ledge dash up tilt and ledge dash dash attack. You just gotta let neither of those ever hit you. A lot of times, like, Marth being stuck in the corner is like not that great for him. Marth coming right off the ledge, like it's not great for him, but you need to like respect it a little bit. Like he does, like when you're Marth on the edge, you're like maybe when I get up, they'll disrespect my ledge option, and I'll get my cheese and I'll kill them. You know, and you just want to be the guy that they're like, it never works on him.
No, I'm just laughing because I shortened the side B edge cancel. I mean, yeah.
That what?
Oh no, like at the start of the stock, I don't know. It's just it's kind of a troll thing I do. It's like I pretend I'm gonna side B edge cancel, then I just shorten it here,
Oh, I see.
and then he tries to cover the
Yeah,
fall.
yeah. No, that's
It's funny.
tricky. No, I like that. Okay,
I don't know if it's viral though, but yeah, probably not.
that's fine.
I have a question. How do you know like exactly where the advantage states are? Like, how do you just know like
What do you
who's an
mean?
advantage? Like in every situation, like okay, Mark right above the edge is in a pretty good position. If he's getting sharked, it's really hard to shark him. Like, how do you know like exactly
Like, how do I
what
know that that exists?
like yeah, and how do you know like okay, Marth on platform? I guess like if you've played Marth, you could also know like okay, they like to shield drop up air and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
a
But
lot of it is just like experience and like experience watching VODs. Like, I'll, hit Zane or somebody or some Marth, or I'll watch somebody else hit them, and then I'll be like, okay, what happened next, And like, every single time when you see the Marth drift to that exact spot above the ledge, then you're like, huh, why do they do that? And then you sort of notice what it beats, like what it counters, what it prevents, and then you sort of say, oh, okay, that's why they're doing it. And then when you play matches against Marth after that, you hit them and you see them immediately take that position, but now you understand exactly why.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
so a lot of it is just from like study and like stacking up knowledge. It's not like I just like look at the game for the first time and see Marth there and I'm like, oh yes, like my mental calculations of 10 million options. Like no. It's just like I know it from like seeing it before and thinking about it before, and now I'm just like relaying that. Like it's like a position that I've already put maybe half an hour of thought into total. Like just that position of Marth falling from like the edge or whatever.
Right. Okay. That's supposed to be a back air.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice. Get the shine. Okay, a slow roll from edge.
Should have been up air.
Up smash?
Oh yeah,
Maybe?
you're right.
Like ledge
Yeah.
dash up smash?
I didn't even need the ledge dash there, I think.
Probably
I could
not,
have just full
yeah.
jumped, yeah.
But it would have killed him, and those are kind of critical against Marth. Yeah, because now you're just super struggling to kill. Nice.
I should never do that. It always gets CC'd. Like
Like
the
that
falling
back
down
air?
back
Yeah,
air. Yeah.
definitely. Hmm. Okay, so it's funny. A lot of foxes think they're pretty good at comboing Marth, and when I watch, they just do up throw, up air, up air, up air
Yeah, that's and then back
sometimes,
air.
and they're like, "Yeah, I'm pretty good at comboing Marth." And it's like, no. And but like
Okay.
that's like not just like a you thing. Like I hear that all the time, and a lot of times it's strictly that like they've done up throw, up air before, and then the Marth will like I don't know, fair or side B, and then you back air them, and you're like, yeah, I'm pretty good at this. But like,
Yeah.
what I want to see a little bit more. Oh man, there's so many things that I could talk about. I think for. Okay, let me think for a second. I think you're at a phase right now in like your melee development where you could pick any individual piece of the game, like any kind of big chunk of the game, and if you just focused on that for a little bit, you would get like super massive gains. So I'm just trying to figure out like which thing should I really tell you to work on, because if I tell you all the stuff that you're kind of could be doing better or should be doing differently, I feel like it'll be like too much. And if you give somebody like 6 things to work on, a lot of times it's kind of overwhelming, especially when they're kind of like big topic things. So one thing is your punish is not very good against Marth. I would not like kind of think to yourself like, oh, I'm kind of good at comboing Marth. Okay. And because a lot of times it looks like you don't have a goal in mind a lot of times. So if you're on Yoshi's or maybe even like Stadium or like sometimes Battlefield, but a lot more rarely on Battlefield, you're thinking about like comboing for like the kill. Like on Yoshi's, maybe you get full hop forward air onto the side platform into an up smash, you know, and you get the kill out of that. Same thing on like Stadium, maybe you get like, you know, nair up smash at an early percent, or you get up air on the side plat and then you get an early up air off the top. Those are sort of like, that's like one way to kill Marth. But there's only 2 other ways you're gonna kill Marth, and one is out of an edge guard, and one is like you miss the edge guard, or not. It's not like you either kill Marth by like hitting him so far off stage or shining him so that he can't recover, or you get some damage and he recovers, and you get some more damage and he recovers, and then you like up smash him. That is like, those are like the only 3 possible ways to kill Marth, and one of those is like killing off the top with like a combo is like super stage dependent. So your combos should be, you shouldn't be thinking I'm gonna hit Marth and just up air as many times as I possibly can and that's a good combo. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times your combo game should be a lot more focused on, like, let's say you up throw Marth and you're here and he DIs out to the side here. You might...
Fair up smash?
Huh?
Fair up smash?
Nah, fair... Okay, so first of all, F smash is bad.
No, fair up smash.
Oh, up smash. I was like, F smash? What are you talking about? No. So the fair up smash here won't kill. That's the problem. Like, fair up smash doesn't have any chance to kill Marth. Whereas if you up throw him here and he DIs here, I don't know, let's run with the fair idea. Let's say up throw, full hop, fair, shine. And it just sends Marth a little off stage. And now you have a chance to get the one of the 3 kills, and one of those is edge guarding. And that's actually going to be like your most common kill on Marth, is you hit him a bunch, and then you hit him off stage, and then you get some form of like an edge guard, like shine or back air or something that kind of like, not gimps him, but like kills him fairly early. And so like your combo game should be a lot more directed towards getting Marth off stage, and a lot less like the more up airs I hit, the better. And it's like, yeah, up air is really, really good, but it's not everything. It's more of like a fallback, bread and butter. It's not like what you do when you're playing super on point and you're doing everything you want to do. What you want to do is get Marth off stage and kill him as fast as you can. Because if you do up throw triple up air and Marth is now at 65, yeah, you have some damage, but what has that really done towards killing Marth? When he comes down, maybe you get a back air and he'll just like go to ledge or something, and it's like you haven't. Yeah, now he's at 70, which is okay, but he hasn't died. Whereas like you get him to 50 and you shine him off, and then he double jumps to edge and you shine him or you back air him, he's just dead every time. So like, and I think that it's sort of, this is why I was having a little bit of trouble, is because like that's also kind of linked up to like your confidence in the edge guard. Is a lot of times you won't feel good directing all of your combos towards sending Marth off stage if Marth being off stage doesn't often end in a kill for him or a kill for you. Uh, so okay, this is probably okay. So this is one thing I would like to tell you to do is when you hit Marth, I want you to constantly be thinking, how can I turn this into an edge guard where Marth dies? That is what I want you to be thinking for now. And I think just purely focusing on that idea of like every combo and every hit must attempt to combo into something that will send Marth off stage.
Okay.
And what I think this will do is it will probably give you a lot more experience doing the edge guard too, because all of your stuff is just going to hit him off stage rather than practicing sharking or whatever. Which, like, you know, don't get me wrong, sharking is relevant. These up airs are relevant, but they're not the part that, like, they're not the most significant part, and they're not like the part you're missing, which is more of like the directed combos into the edge guard. So if you do more of that, you should get a little bit more experience doing the edge guard. I would say, you know, watch Cody, watch Leffen, watch all the people who we know are really good at killing Marth. I guess like Leffen kind of just goes chic now. So see Cody. Who else is good at it now? Like, I think I was okay at it when I stopped having VODs to look at. Let's see. Who's good at edgeguarding Marth now? Honestly, right now, just watch Cody. I feel like all the other Foxes are kind of bad at edgeguarding Marth right now. So I would say just watch his VODs and just be like, well, I'm getting edgeguards, you know, all the time. And now I can focus more on capitalizing on those edgeguards. So that is the biggest thing that I think I want to tell you in terms of like punish. And that ledge grab timing thing is a big part. It's like that's kind of your first step into like edge guarding better. And then like think watching like Cody VODs and stuff will help you put it together a little bit more. And he put out like a flowchart video on like a lot of like edge guard stuff that kills Marth. I'm pretty sure it's on his YouTube somewhere. It doesn't cover everything, but it'll especially Huh?
Yeah, he did. I know that video.
Okay. And and then in terms of neutral, that tether thing is a big deal. The biggest things I want you to keep in mind with that are don't attack from too far away. This is like the biggest problem for every Fox against Marth, is they attack from too far away. Use the middle range to get in close. If Marth wants to attack you at middle range, then he can close the gap for you, and you'll beat him up at close range.
They also just use the middle range to like run away or reset neutral or like go to top. Is
like
top that bad?
Basically, the middle range is where you're going to get your mix-ups to go in off of. But the longer you stay there, the higher chance you have of him randomly like dash attacking or run up grabbing you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you just don't want to stay in the middle range for too long. Like once you get in the middle range, so like for example, like Cody has a lot of situations against Zane where they'll be like super long range, totally opposite side of like the stage, and then Cody will go like laser, dash dance. He'll act like he's gonna approach in. He'll get in the mid range for a second, and he'll go back to long range, and then he's like, okay, like laser, back to mid range. Zane will do like a nair or something. And then Cody's like, okay, get into like the tether range after the nair, and now go in right after that. Or, you know, sometimes he'll reset multiple times at long range, and then like get into the middle range for just a second, and then convert that to close range. And it's not like, oh, I'm running all the way across the stage, but sometimes it looks almost like that, where you're like full screen to mid range to dash dance to close range, and then attack. You know, like sometimes it looks almost like you're running all the way across the stage, but I wouldn't recommend just straight up running the whole way. So your goal is don't attack from too far, and try to think which openings you want a little bit more. Like the falling drill from top plat, and you have a lot of kind of like random back airs or aerials where it doesn't seem like there's like a lot of intent behind it. towards like a combo. Like remember, you want your combo, which gives you control of the game, like control of like space, so that like you can kind of use your aerials and your grabs and shine and all this stuff to kind of mold the situation to put Marth off stage to kill him.
Right. I have a
Yeah.
question then.
Yes.
So, okay, if the enemy is not at like high percent, would you just say that like stray hits are just basically bad as Fox?
That what's bad as Fox?
Like a stray hit?
Stray hit. It's not that it's bad. Because like let's say your opponent gives you an opening for free, and the only thing you're able to get off of that opening is a stray hit. That's good. But if you're in neutral and you see a possibility that you might be able to get a stray hit, you should definitely not go for that. Because it has risk. And it's like a risk reward thing. And it's like, hey, if you win $1, and if you lose $100. Do you want to play? And you're like, no. Like, and that's kind of like it. But what if they're like, all right, if you lose $0. Actually, there's no way to lose. Here's $1, and you're like, oh, thanks. That's kind of like a stray hit if it's guaranteed. It's like sometimes you're just moving around and they whiff an up air or something, and that's all you can get is you just land a back air and they just fly over here, and you're like, well, like it was risk free. Like I'll take free money, but you don't want to do it in situations where you're like risking something,
Right. I feel like a lot of this is just very like logical stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I find it hard to understand the game.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to other games I've played. It's just super fast. Even when I watch it,
yeah,
it's just
okay.
I don't know what's happening. Sometimes it's just so fast. I'm like, okay, he just got an opening. I don't really know how or why.
Yeah. I have the perfect answer for that, I think. So it's because you are trying to respond to dynamic situations with dynamic responses. And therefore you are not experiencing enough like sameness. Like you're not experiencing enough like, oh, he faked me out, I went right and he went left, and then he got the layup. And it's like when that happens 100 times, then you're like, okay, I'm gonna cover this layup this time, like, or something like that. But then like if you're just sort of like, basically the more you treat it as like this wide open chaotic game, the harder it's going to be to understand it. So and a lot of times trying to maximize performance, like a lot of times your performance will be at its peak when you are just playing on instinct and you're treating it like a chaotic game, and you're just like, how does the situation look? Kind of like this or kind of like this. And it's like, yeah, a lot of times that is like how you're going to perform best in tournament. But that's not usually the best way to practice. What you want to try to do is you want to get a very small number of situations, and you want to try to force them. So that, let's see, what's the best way? So it's kind of like
forcing my advantage?
Not forcing your advantage. It's that, like, let's say there are 3 things that you want, like, a lot. Like, let's say you really want a grab on Marth. Or let's back it up. Let's say you want to get, like, a drill grab or a drill wave shine. And, so you could sort of just play the game until there's a position where you're like, could I get a drill there? And then go for the drill. Or you can just try to drill Marth over and over, and you can see why it misses. And being like, okay, I tried to drill like this, and it missed like this, and I tried to drill this other way, and it missed like this. And it's a lot easier to sort of categorize patterns when, like, your end is the same. Like, you're like, I'm doing the same thing here, even though it's a different situation. Does this literal same, like, set of inputs work here? And then when it doesn't work, it's a lot easier to figure out why. And a different way to say this, and I tell this to a lot of people, is like, you if you don't play according to your game plan, the only thing you'll ever really learn on analysis outside of micro situations is like, you probably should play more to your game plan. Like, if you're playing on pure intuition, it's a lot harder to like level up. But if you're using like a really simple game plan, and it keeps having these same holes poked in it by your opponent, then you can just go home and adjust the game plan. And so it's kind of like ignoring a lot of the more chaotic or complicated situations in the game and trying to focus on like a few relevant situations and simplify them as much as possible into sort of, and like, because the simpler your plan is, the more you can like categorize what happens based on like, it went according to plan or it didn't go according to plan, and why not, you know? But if you just sort of play with whatever the game gives you, you're never going to be able to like assert any kind of like controlled training environment type of vibe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Okay. What are your thoughts?
I feel like I used to have game plans like years ago, I feel like, but they were really basic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just try and get a grab on Falco on FD or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like against Marth, my game plan was just to like up the upper a million times, but then I guess that's not the whole match. That's not really it's too narrow, right? Like it's not like a broad understanding of the matchup, I feel like.
Yeah, like I think that that game plan might have helped you get better at up airing, but now we're trying to get better at these other pieces of the matchup. So I think if your game plan before was like, I'm gonna up throw up air Marth, and you just tried to see all these situations that came out of up throw up airing Marth until you got good at it, that's kind of like what I'm describing right now. So I'm basically just telling you to do that again, but do that with like these other pieces of the matchup where it's a super simple game plan and you just repeat the game plan over and over to sort of get a lot of experiences in like one particular area.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like, because I'm from like a weaker region, it's kind of a John, but like, it's kind of hard to like improve as well from like the Philippines.
Mm-hmm. No,
And
definitely. You're like, anybody who's playing from a weak region is automatically playing the game on super hard mode.
yeah.
At least at a global scale.
So would you say I just go into unranked in practice against like hope I get a Marth or something? Like
Yeah, I mean,
um
if you don't know any Marth players, then I would say that's your best bet.
yeah,
Um,
okay.
I just don't know the region well enough, and like, if like how easy it is for you to find Marth players. I know you mentioned a couple Marths that you'd played.
In
Um,
Yeah, because in Asia you have to like use a Discord because there's unranked is basically dead.
yeah, and
So
like
like yeah.
here, yeah, you can literally just grind unranked here and just quit out on everyone who's not a Marth until you find one.
Okay, yeah.
Or ask in
Okay.
like some Discord server somewhere. But I mean, a lot of times when I'm looking for Marth practice, and I don't really care if it's like, a really good Marth, that's like what I'll do. I'll just go on unranked and be like, if you don't play Marth, I'm not. You could even do something like change your username to like looking for Marth or something like that.
Oh right, okay, that's a good
So that
idea.
people know it's not like disrespect or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. But okay, I feel like we went over a lot of stuff to work on. The biggest thing out of everything is like kind of shifting to a more like logical, structured way of looking at the game, and just like everything is gonna kind of like, the more you look at the game kind of scientifically and try to break it down with like the logical stuff that we went over, rather than playing it very like intuitively and snappy or whatever, I think like a
Yeah.
lot of the, like, it's a lot easier to consciously improve when you're playing the game like that. Whereas like, I think improving intuitively is not a bad thing, but is mostly limited by your partners. Because like if you're just like, oh, my two friends, my two best friends growing up were Zane and Armada, and we played every day. Then like, yeah, you might just get good without ever looking at a VOD, you know. But
Right.
like most people aren't in a situation where they have to do that, and so like the more isolated you are, or like the less great practice you have, the more you need to be focused on like analysis and like I need to do the good option, even if this bad player I'm playing does not like respect the good option. Like, and it's kind of difficult to play like that, but that is the difficulty of playing in a tougher region. That's just how it is.
Right. Yeah, that seemed really helpful. Thank you.
Awesome. It was great talking to you. Feel free to hit me up if you have any additional questions or clips or anything like that that you're curious about.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Hope you have a good one, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Peace.
See ya.